Lord of mercy.
Oh, hello, everybody. This is Three of Skeins, Knit and Crochet Podcast, episode 94. Welcome. Hey, thanks for joining us. Please like and subscribe.
It makes our mom really happy.
I'm Lisa.
I'm Cryss.
Hope everybody's doing well. Well, we have agreed we're going to talk about whips first today. Do you want to go first or shall I?
You rip some more with me.
Okay. I'm going to show you my whippy whips. First of all, I have a super duper long sock going on. I'm going to throw in a picture so you can see the full extent of the length. So what's happened this week is I have crossed over to sock number 2. This is the entire leg of sock number 2, a spot for the heel, and I'm working my way down the foot of sock number 2 now. At the end of this foot, I'm going to do a toe, and the main body of the sock will be complete. Then I'll be cutting it apart and adding the heels and the other toe and one cuff. So that's where I am right now. I've also been quite busy working on my skirt. I have 12 1/4 inches of the body of the skirt already. So there we go. I wish it wasn't squunched up on the needles. You can really see the shape. I know, because I feel that way every time. I'm like, oh, it's squunched. But
I don't think squunched is a word.
I'm sure it is. I'm going to check the OED.
Scrunched is a word. Squunched probably.
Well, I'll add it to Wikipedia. So there we are, 12 1/4 inches. Now, the body of my skirt is going to be 17 inches long. The flounce is going to add another 9 inches to it. So I have about 5 inches left to go on the body of the skirt. I'm looking at you, I'm like, is that correct?
4 3/4, but sure. Really close. Last week you said it was supposed to be 15 inches. Now it's 17 inches.
Yeah.
So we was all over the place.
I was totally wrong about that. I need to have like my notes because numbers are just very fluid for me.
They're not. They're like, okay. They're not.
Anyway, it's
They're
really,
not the amorphous things she thinks they are, but okay.
It's really 17. So
really.
Really.
Okay.
And when I add the 9 inches, it's going to end up being 26 inches. Is that correct?
You know what? Eyes on your own paper. Okay.
So that will be the length of the skirt. So hopefully I will get most of the way through the body of the skirt next week. And I'll be able to start my flounce the week after that. Very excited. It feels great, by the way. So that's all I'm working on. Those are my whips. I'm gonna whip and nay.
I'm just swatching. That's all that's been going on with me. Although I think I might start something soon. I don't know.
Are you getting the feeling?
Kind of, sort of. I just can't decide what to work on next. I'm having like so much trouble just settling on one thing, which is like so unusual for me.
And I know your queue is full.
It's always
your
full.
Potential queue is full.
It's always full. It's never ending. I feel like things just be jumping on the queue while I'm sleeping, and then I wake up and I have a longer queue. I don't know how that happens.
That's because they are.
Don't say that. So, but I have my little, I put my swatches on the ring. I have to press them because they're curling a little bit and stuff. But I have some swatches from my pattern book, and so I have them like labeled with what number they were in the book. And we'll probably put some pictures in, but this is just to give y'all an idea of what all I've been working on. I like this. This one was tricky because you do like I think a double crochet and then a half double, and it's a diagram, and I wasn't exactly sure where I was anchoring that half double. I was like, is it a post stitch? But if it was a post stitch, I feel like it would have had that little hook at the bottom of it on the stitch diagram. And I was like, well, maybe I'm working through the legs, because you're definitely not working through like the top of the stitch. So I was like, maybe I'm working through the legs of the double crochet that's next to it. And there's a little bit of an explanation of what you're doing with that half double crochet on the page, but it's in Chinese. So I tried a little like translator action, and it said something about putting the needle under the needle and then crocheting. And I'm assuming that the legs of that double crochet stitch are the needle. So, because they're long and narrow. So that's where I put that's where I anchored my half double crochet. I'm not entirely sure that's right, but it's cute. I mean, I'm not mad at it.
That is good.
So this will be my version of the stitch.
Does it look like the picture?
Close enough. You know, they use a different yarn. I think they use a different weight yarn, and it was like plumper. So I have more stitch definition in mine than they had in theirs in the pictures in the book. So we'll see.
Because Google Translate is not all that
It's no, it's
especially
not.
for technical things.
Exactly. This stitch I thought was actually really cute.
Oh, that is.
It has, those are picots.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And I was like, it never occurred to me to like picot between my double crochets. But it gives almost like a puff stitch effect, but it's easier to do, and they're teeny tiny puffs. So this is just like, got me thinking like in whole new directions.
It's not bulky at all.
So very excited about that.
You know that bulky sweater you were thinking about? That would be really cute. Something like that would be really cute in that stitch.
And then this is my last one that I've done so far. And so far I'm just like really happy just exploring and going through the stitches and seeing what's there. I feel like I'm really getting to know my stitch dictionary. And it's been a lot of fun. So if you have a stitch dictionary that you just had sitting around, I suggest you do a little bit of swatch. My goal is to do 5 swatches a week. I think I did 2 of this week's swatches so far, but that's just a target. That's a very soft target. But the point is just to keep going, make sure I do some swatches every week. And so far my cones are paying off, because I barely made a dent in my cone. So yeah, that's what I've been working on. And it's sparking ideas, it's sparking joy, all the things are being sparked.
Well, I think what we are up to is we just went to the yarn festival.
We went to New Jersey Sheep and Wool.
Yep.
We went Saturday. Yes, Sunday. Ooh, it rained a little.
As in Noah's floodish.
So I'm really glad we got there. We went on Saturday. It was hot though. It was ungodly hot. It was just it was punishing hot. Yeah.
How hot was it, Crystal?
It was so hot it made me sad. I was too hot to be angry. I was just sad. But the humidity was just like such a killer. My hair fell, so I ain't taking no pictures because my hair fell as soon as I got out the damn car.
Her hair fell and my hair grew.
But we still managed to have a nice time. So it is a smaller festival. There's like 4 main barns and then a building called the Grange. Now this year the Grange was just people selling fleece specifically, so we didn't really go to the Grange. But the first 2 barns, it's where the actual animals are.
Yeah, and that was a difference than in years past. They usually keep the animals in the back barns.
So we walked through, but there wasn't any there for us. Mom and I walked through.
I dipped on the second
She
one.
did. She really did. But barns 3 and 4 are like where the action is. Those are like the big event. And it was smaller this year. I don't know if some vendors who were going to attend didn't, or if it was just less vendors, planning to attend overall. But I don't mind because I like less crowds. There was never like a line to get in anyone's booth or anything like that. So it's a nice, sedately paced yarn festival, but still offering a lot of options. Unfortunately, the people who had those wool handbags did not come back this year, but that's probably a good thing because money. But we did take up a few things. So, Lisa, would you like to show your yarn?
Sure.
And your sundries?
And my sundries.
She has sundries.
I have sundries. I have a couple of sundries. You know, I think I'm going to start with my sundry. My main sundry.
You have satellite sundries?
I do. I got this yarn caddy from, is it pronounced Ashling?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't know the company's name.
Ashling yarn. I'll probably just put it in the doobly-doo below.
The doobly-doo.
In the doobly-doo. But so far, she really works nicely. So what you do is you set your ball of yarn on this little doohickey here, and it rotates ever so softly while you pull it out this way. It's been nice. It has been. And the base of it has a little bit of weight to it, plus the weight of the ball of the yarn. So I haven't had it tip or anything like that since I got it. Also,
is the height of this adjustable?
No.
Okay.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, I think maybe you can turn that thing and move it up and down.
If I needed to, I could, but I can't picture myself ever needing to, but sure. I'm sure it is for someone. But I really, really like it. And it has made working with the cotton, you know, I love my summer yarns, I do. But I'm a dedicated center pull person, and they just don't work as well for center pulling. Sometimes the center doesn't even stay in the ball when you take it off the winder. It drops right out on you. So I did wind this ball on my winder, but I'm working it from the outside, which is how this thing is designed to work with your yarn. And for my cottons and whatnot, it's perfect. I'm going to try it out on wool soon. I love it. Absolutely love it. Ashling Yarns, Yarn Caddy. And this was $35. And it's made by Ashling Yarn's husband.
Mr. Ashling Yarns.
Mr. Ashling Yarns, yes. I also got a selection of buttons that is inspiring.
Lady had so many buttons. Anything you could think of, any kind of material buttons that have ever been made out of. She had some. And she could tell you about the material and where it came from. And she was very knowledgeable about buttons.
Ledoux, I think the name of the
I
company
never
is.
found out the name because she didn't have like a big sign or anything.
No.
Or did I miss it?
No, she didn't.
Yeah,
she had about 1 million buttons though. So Ledoux Trading. Now these are the composite buttons I got. They're very interesting because they're made of primarily rubber, but they press all kinds of different things into the rubber. So this card is primarily decorated with mica. So it has a nice shimmer to it. And this card is a mix of materials embedded into the rubber. Love those. And then I got fascinated by something she called vegetable ivory. And what that is a nut from the palm tree, from a certain type of palm tree, that when it's dried and carved, it dries white like ivory, like that ivory color. But it can be dyed any color you want. And turns out, before plastics were invented, 20% of all the buttons were made out of this stuff. And I really, really loved it.
I feel like you could have talked to that lady all day.
I really could have. We had a great chat. We had an absolutely wonderful chat. I love these. These are also vegetable ivory. So you know there's a couple of cardigans coming in my life, right? And then this was a bag of just mixed buttons. So all the buttons in here are different from each other, but they're dyed the same color. So these are going on something together. So they'll just be different, but the same. Yes, different but the same. And give this a feel. It feels ivory-ish.
They're nice. She had just a gorgeous selection of buttons. She really did. Whatever you might have been looking for. She even had novelty buttons shaped like different foods and things. I mean, she had
glass buttons,
Yes.
whatever material.
Mom got like this carved metal filigree kind of button, but she had everything. Way better than what you would find at Joann.
Oh my gosh, Joann does not even compare. Don't speak that word in conjunction.
Okay, we don't have to be that weird.
Oh. So I got a skein of 3 Bunny Designs. This is her colorway.
Biker bunny and a pink tutu.
Yeah, this is a biker bunny and a hot pink tutu. She started doing it on the sparkle base, so I had to have it on the sparkle base. I'm like, what? So I already have some of this on the plain base, so I'm trying to think of a project where I can combine the sparkle base and the plain base of this, and I love the black and hot pink colorway. And this is Primrose Yarn. It's a yarn called Replay. It's made from recycled wool. It is 300 yards of 3-ply worsted weight, and I already have an idea for this. This is going to get combined with a couple of other things I have into a sort of multicolored patchworky jackety thing. That's gonna be, yes, a jackety thing. That's gonna be super cute. But love, love, love. And you know what? I forgot my fan.
Oh.
So we told you it was incredibly hot, right? We stopped in one of the first booths I think we stopped at. The lady had, her name is Robin Lennon from Uncommon Artwear. She had the most interesting collection of wraps and handmade bags. What she does is she goes thrifting and collects up different textiles and combines them into really fun, unique pieces of art. She got some hand-woven African style fans. And girl, it was so hot.
Lisa was literally like fanning herself like a church lady all day.
All day long. And you know what?
And as you looked hot, she'd give you a little too.
And a couple of people were like, where did you get that again? So I think I sent a couple of people her way because, and when we passed back by her, she had one of her fans. Because you know what? Sometimes you forget these things are functional. But I think it was really keeping me going because it was insanely hot out there. But I think that's all I got. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll have to put in a picture of some of the yarn that I got because there was an issue.
Yeah.
So we were shopping, in barns, like in actual barns. There's animals, there's hay, there's, the things animals do on the ground.
In the hay.
It's just, so I buy this yarn, right? Some cotton, and it's supposed to be tencel, but it's bamboo. But I buy this yarn, and as we're driving home, I get like a whiff of barn, just every once in a while. It was just like, why do I smell barn? Okay, odd. We get home, I walk in the door, I'm carrying my bags, and whiff of barn. And I'm like, maybe something on my shoe, maybe I stepped in something. I don't know what the situation is, but I'm definitely smelling barn. Child, when I tell y'all it was the yarn.
Yep.
I don't know if the yarn was just frolicking with the sheep while no one was looking, but the yarn, the smell was just unbelievable.
And it wasn't like all the yarn, because my yarn smells fine.
Yeah, and it was just this particular yarn.
Particular booth. I don't know if it got too close to this. I don't know.
I don't know if it was transported in a vehicle that transports animals or what. But like literally, I couldn't have used it. And I was like really upset thinking that I had wasted my money on this yarn. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna try to like clean it somehow. So we ended up just putting it in some water with Youghiogheny. Now let me tell you something. I've never been a big believer in Youghiogheny because I don't understand how you ain't got to rinse nothing out of it. I don't understand how you ain't scrubbing nothing. I don't understand how it just sits in there and it's supposed to get stuff clean. But it's what I had, and I was willing to try it because I didn't want to lose the money I had spent on this yarn. So I sniffed all the Youghiogheny we have, and the jasmine was potent. So I was like, we're gonna use this jasmine fragrance. Because usually, like if I'm soaking like a wool sweater, I'll use the unscented Youghiogheny. But I needed a fragrance. So we soaked it in Youghiogheny for hours.
Yeah, like what, 3-4 hours?
Yeah, because we put it in the water and then we cooked dinner and we ate and then we let it sit a little more. And then started the process of like wringing it out while it's still in the hanks. Because they're big hanks. The cotton I got is 550 yards and the bamboo is 2,600 yards. It's a lace weight. So, it would have been a huge loss if I couldn't reclaim this yarn. When I tell y'all, the yarn smells sweet.
Oh my gosh.
It smells so, it's not just that the jasmine is like covering the old fragrance.
No.
The stink is gone.
It's clean.
It really just is. And it just smells very fresh and very clean.
It's lighter.
I am such a big believer in Youghiogheny now. I have nothing but their praises to sing. I don't know how they do what they do. I don't know if I have to buy this stuff at like Diagon Alley or something. But it is, y'all, Youghiogheny. It's the realness. Because they really saved this yarn. I couldn't have touched this yarn. I couldn't have worked with it. And I certainly couldn't have worn anything made out of it with it smelling the way it smelled. And the funny thing is, there was no visible stains or anything of any kind on the yarn. So there was nothing to indicate when I was purchasing it that there would be an issue. And because I was in a barn, I didn't notice the particular odor coming from this yarn. Youghiogheny to the rescue, y'all. Like, shout out to whoever the heck makes that stuff. Because thank you.
It's like you said, it's not just smelling of the product. It's clean.
Yeah,
it's lighter, it's brighter.
It smells fresh. It looks really good. It's just, y'all. So, you know what I know? Get you some Youghiogheny.
Yeah. Just
in case anything comes up. Because sometimes even like hand dyed, it might smell like vinegar or something. Just keep some on hand because, it works wonders.
Yeah. Also, what we did was we tied the skeins up a couple of extra times. So I added 2, maybe sometimes 3, because these skeins are very long. They're like 2-meter skeins, and you're just trying to do that so that you avoid discombobulating the yarn and
in the water it wasn't being agitated at all. It was just
soaking. Yeah, just let it sit in there 3-4 hours. And then drain it out. And
we could probably left it less time, but the smell was so bad I couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
But it was probably better after like an hour or so. But just to be on the safe side.
But it's visibly clean now. It's crazy how it's visibly clean.
So, Youghiogheny. Now you know. But in non-stinky yarn news, so I also got some 3 funny designs. Our friend Laura is the dyer, and I got some sparkle yarn. So this color is Regifted Gift. I think her names are so cute too. And this one is Bunny's got her blue jeans on. I think Mom bought some of this last year.
Yeah.
But I thought they would look good together. Being like wide stripes with this color and then narrow stripes with this color. I don't know what's going to be yet. But it is it 100%? No, it's 70% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and 10% stellina. So that was one of my purchases. And then from, are these people who make your yarn holder thingy?
Yes, Ashley.
Yes, so same company. Now last year I bought from this company this yarn, and the color is called Princess Bride, and it is baby alpaca, silk, and cashmere, and it's a lace weight. So this year I noticed they had something that they call Merlin. It's 90% merino and 10% linen, and I loved how it looked and how it felt. So I bought it in the same color in Princess Bride, and I will figure out something to do with all of them together.
That's really
But this is last year's purchase. This is from this year. And then see what had happened was. There's this company called Youghiogheny. They are a dyer based in Pennsylvania. Apparently there's a river in Pennsylvania called Youghiogheny, and they're named after the river. And the name is not spelled anything. We'll put it in the doobly-doo.
Don't even try.
Just trust me when I tell you those letters spell Youghiogheny. I got some beautiful yarn from them last year, but I was trying to be better on the budget this year. So I didn't buy any yarn from them. I did get a solid lotion bar. I love those because you can have them in your purse or even in your pocket and it's not going to spill and make a mess. But when I came home, I still had Youghiogheny on the brain, is what had happened.
You had yucca brain?
Yes, I had yucca brain. So I go to their website and they have my weakness, grab bags. They had a mystery bag, four 100-gram skeins for a total of $45. And I kept looking like, is that number right? But yes, that is what they were doing. Like, so, you know, you can't pick, you don't know what you're gonna get. But I was like, heck, send it to me, whatever. Because I don't think they have any yarn I don't like.
Yeah.
So I came home that same day. So I'm considering this part of the yarn festival. I got me a mystery bag. And I am thrilled with what I got. I did end up getting 4 skeins of the same color. I don't know if that's always the case. Bam! Ain't she gorgeous? What?
What's that colorway called?
I think it's called Funky Flamingo.
That's fun.
So that's what I got. I got 4 100-gram skeins. I believe this is 100% superwash merino. And
it's a single too.
Yes. Oh, is it a single ply?
It's a single.
I love single ply. So I got me a sweater quantity of hand dye for $45. So it comes in the mail, right?
Yep.
Because Mama Lisa was going out, so I just tried to discreetly check the mail. And because I didn't tell nobody I ordered it.
She did not give the alert.
I didn't.
I want you guys to shame her in the comments.
Don't shame me in the comments.
Shame her in the comments.
Because you know what? If I had said something, then it was like, oh, I made them buy yarn. I can't win. So just as they got back, of course, they checked the mail, and now it's in the Be Gone mailbox. And Lisa literally shouted, "She got Youghiogheny!"
I did. I was shocked.
However, when I placed my order, there were 3 mystery bags left. When Mama Lisa went online, there were still 2 mystery bags left. So
I pressed go.
This one over here,
I did,
got jelly in the belly, and she ordered those last 2 mystery skeins. So she'll get one, and Mom will get one.
Honest to goodness, though, Yarn Festival is not a discount shopping experience. The mystery bag is 4 skeins hand-dyed yarn
for $45. So that's like $11.25 per skein. This is still labeled with the original price. These are $27. I don't know how they pulled that off, but these are $27 full price. So it was just too good a deal to pass up.
And when I was clicking it, right, it said, oh, we may not have any more left. So I was like, you know what? If it goes in the cart, I'm going to try. And sure did.
And so I told her to check today. I was like, did you get an order confirmation? And their yarn already shipped.
Yeah, so I can't wait to see what we get. And this is actually my very first mystery bag, getting one of my very own.
Really?
I've sold mystery bags. I've never sold one.
Oh, welcome.
So I'm actually really excited, but the price was right, so I just could not. Okay. I couldn't let those.
Let me tell y'all, occasionally there are deals to be had, but there's legwork. You really, and sometimes like when you have a deal like that, I don't think most people be telling people. They like, look, if you're on the website and you see what you see, then you see what you see. But it was just luck that I stumbled across these. Luck and me being nosy, because I was just like, I wanted to look at the yarn more. That was really what happened. I just come from the festival and I was like, well, I just want to look at pretty yarn.
Yeah, and they do a tweed that I love.
Mom almost got their tweed. I was pushing her, but she said, "Get thee behind me, Satan." That's her own daughter. But yeah, they do have a really nice tweed. But there was, as an example of the festival prices you will see, there was a yarn dyer who had a mini set. And I get her newsletter, so she sent out a picture, and they ain't had no price in the newsletter. But it was a Halloween set of mini skeins. It's 10 skeins that are, I think, 80 yards each, so you get a total of 800 yards. Get to the show, and I made a beeline for her booth because I knew I really liked, because the thing with mini sets is that sometimes you like some of the colors, but not all of them. But this one, I liked all 10 colors. I was like, oh, I definitely will check that out at the show. So I get there and I'm like, oh, how much is this? And at first the woman in the booth said it was $40, and I was about to pick up too. And she goes, oh, wait. And she goes to check the price list, and then she comes back. It's like, oh, that's $90.
Oh.
That from 40 to 90, whoa, what are we doing here? But 800 yards is about two
skeins.
Yeah, 2 fingering skeins. So $90 seemed like a lot for that amount of yarn. Because would you pay $45 for 1 fingering weight skein, even hand dyed? So I didn't think that was a good deal. It was still beautiful, don't get me wrong. And if I was like a money to burn type of chick, I might have bought it anyway. But really. But I just couldn't do that. So consider for half the price, I ended up getting 4 full-size skeins. So that's the kind of pricing you're going to see at these kinds of shows. But always check the retail, like if there's a yarn festival, like the week after, check the retailer's websites, because sometimes they're trying to get rid of some of the inventory they took to the show. So you might be able to pick up some deals. Not always, but it's worth a look.
Yeah, sometimes.
So that's all we did. That's what we got. Oh, and we maybe tailgated.
Oh, yeah. We had a lovely
We'll have to put in a picture, which we would not have been able to do Sunday at all.
Yeah, Sunday it poured.
But last year when we went, we got there around noon. So they only have a few picnic tables. And when we were there last year, they were all full. So we ended up eating in our car. So we figured, I didn't account for the time difference, because this year we actually got there about 9:30, 9:15, and the show starts at 9. So when we were ready to have lunch, the tables weren't full, but we had already made alternative plans. We made a reservation, if you will.
Yes, we did.
Because we brought with us this little round table and 3 folding chairs. And we went back to our car. And we got our table, we got our chairs, we put a little tablecloth on the table.
Yeah.
We'll put in a picture.
Yeah.
And we had the lunches we had prepared.
Yes, we had a lovely alfresco dining experience.
Yes, this one, Miss Alfresco, let me tell you about her, because, you know, we live out in the burbs, and there isn't much in the way of outdoor eating. When you're eating outdoors at a restaurant, you're in the parking lot. Like, there might be a little barrier or something, but it's the parking lot. And for years, I could never convince her to eat outside until the panoramical.
Well, yeah.
Now she only wants to eat outside. Now she's sitting in a parking lot surrounded by cars talking about we dining al fresco. So my how things have changed. But it was really, really nice. We were really able to ignore all the cars. We just sat there. And
consider we were all parked in a big grassy field, so, you know.
Yes. So it was actually really, I recommend it highly. Just, it's also good to just like get away from the energy of the event and just kind of come down a little bit, especially because it was like so hot. We were already terribly uncomfortable. So to just set a spell, have some good food, because it really weren't that many food vendors. So we had exactly what we wanted to eat. I made these peanut butter cookies. I found a recipe. I will see if I can look it up again, because I just screenshotted it on my phone. But if I can find the original recipe, I will link to it. And I put a little chocolate chip in the center of each peanut butter cookie. And it was really, really good.
So let me tell you how hard it is for us to have a cookie. We are gluten-free, lactose-free people. So that precludes much of cookie world.
Peanut butter cookies.
They
fit
were
the bill,
delightful. They were absolutely delightful.
So I recommend, I would like us to start a trend of tailgating at yarn events, because I'm not a sports fan. So left to my own devices, I'll never get to tailgate unless I, am proactive about it. So these are the kinds of events I go to.
Yeah.
So might as well pop a table out your trunk.
Matter of fact, people were saying as they passed by, that's a good idea. You might have, what would we say? You might have started a new tradition.
So I highly recommend tailgating at your yarn festival because it was wonderful. And luckily we weren't on the soggy day.
Yeah.
Because that could not have happened on Sunday at all.
No.
But that was our main, yarn festival story. I had a really good time. I was really surprisingly, well behaved with yarn buying this year.
I think we all were. Yeah.
But y'all are always good. That's not saying anything.
Oh, please.
They're always like holding back and being all like moderate and stuff.
I have a lot of yarn.
A like little yarn Tasmanian devil.
I went buck wild at the button lady spot though.
You bought some buttons. I don't think that counts as going buck wild at the button spot. But I was good for me, because you have to understand what I'm working against here. One, I love shopping. I just absolutely love. It doesn't matter where I'm shopping. It doesn't matter how much I spend. Dollar Tree, Five Below, Target. I enjoy the act of shopping because it's like almost like a treasure hunt for me. You just don't know what you're gonna find. I love yarn, and I love being in any space where I'm surrounded by a lot of something I'm excited about. So if it's yarn, or if it's books, or if it's clothes, or what have you. And I struggle with, self-control in this area. I do. So plus I'm acquisitive. I'm just a person who likes stuff. So all of that is what's working against me when I'm trying to stick to a budget. I did surprisingly well.
You go, girl. How did your outfit wear, considering the heat of the day?
Oh no, it was very comfortable.
That's what I was thinking too.
It didn't sometimes you feel it stick to you. It didn't stick. So I was wearing this little two-piece outfit that I made that was it's 100% mercerized cotton. It's DK weight, and I saw it in my room and I was just like, oh, I haven't worn this, I don't think. So I was like, it's like a little, it's a crop top, so a little bit of my stomach's out, and then like a pencil skirt. So I was like, is this a bit much for a yarn festival? But it was gonna be hot and it's really cute. So I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and wear it. It was very, very, very comfortable. I had a little jacket because I was trying to be a little circumspect, but it got so hot I took off the jacket. I was like, I don't care. It's just sheep looking at me. It's fine. But I got a surprising number of compliments. All day long, people were telling me, oh my gosh, the outfit's so cute. It's like that crochet. That's such a cute crochet outfit. So I was very happy because I don't know. I thought it was too much.
No, not at all. And considering the heat of the day, it's just like I'm going through this discovery process of natural materials. I wore my my lace tee, and that was the other thing. At no point did I ever feel sticky. I was hot. I'm not gonna lie, I was hot, but at no point was, you have that clammy feeling. It's amazing how
especially with synthetic fabrics, you'll get fat.
But I was wearing cotton shorts and I was wearing my cotton and viscose and linen top, and I was as comfortable as it was possible to be. I was like, wow, these materials really make a difference.
My outfit was a win. I was very, very happy. She's very cute. She smells a little Barney too, though, so I had to wash it.
Everything we wore that day, all of it's going in the wash.
But yeah, it was a really fun event. recommend it highly. And it's I think $10 a person, $15 a car, and $20 for a 2-day pass.
Yeah.
So perfectly reasonable prices, and you see a lot of the same vendors year after year. So after a while, you kind of get to know people. I love the New Jersey Sheep and Wool Festival. For me, it's just like my ideal festival, but for the sheep.
Yeah.
But you know, it's actually hosted by the New Jersey Wool and Sheep Breeders Association. So
there's gonna be some sheep there.
it's really kind of the sheep space, and we're just like, you know, visiting. So it's okay.
But if you want to start off, you know, going to festivals, it's a nice small festival. You know how we always say, oh, well, we want to walk the whole thing and then come back and do our buying. It's small enough that that's really possible. It's not, you know, 32 barns so that you couldn't possibly remember where you saw what. So I think it's a great starter festival, and it will whet your appetite for the bigger ones.
But they still get some really great dyers too.
Oh gosh, yeah. They get everybody. Everybody you could think you're gonna see at a festival, you're gonna see them there. I mean, there was even what was the name of that? Forever Yarn was there, and they were selling their La Bien Amie. So you can just get
because she had
whatever.
visited the store earlier this year, so I guess they were selling some of what they had left. I was tempted, but I was good.
Yeah, that's La Beaucoup Monique.
So that was our trip to the New Jersey Sheep and Wool Festival, and I hope you enjoyed walking down memory lane with us. And we will see you next time.
See you next time.
Stay stitching.
Bye.